ready, Kadimah?
Mm-hmm.
Let me know when we're live on here.
We should be live.
No.
So we're live on Instagram?
You are now live.
Okay. And we are live here too. What's up, guys?
What's up, what's up?
A little fresh look here. We're going to get right into business here. Right into it. Like, we're not playing around, okay? So, Instagram, what's up? Facebook, how's it going? I'm one of your hosts, I'm Kadimah.
I'm Jacob.
We're going to talk about goals, actually what they really mean. And so this is going to be kind of, Coach Jacob is our head nutritionist here, and he's going to take me through an evaluation based upon my current goals and kind of how this can be portrayed. And he does this for all of our clients, existing and new. So this is a great way to kind of assess and really understand what you're asking for. Mm-hmm. Many times we don't understand what we're asking for, and I think this is it's a great way to kind of go through it. Jimbo, thanks for that. Already hating the new setup. Appreciate it. We need the whiteboard though, because we're going to be doing some writing there. So appreciate the feedback though. You are one of a kind.
So as Kadimah was saying, whenever I sit down with a nutrition client, I say, okay, what's your goal? 9 times out of 10, I want to tone up, I want to look better, I want to feel better. Okay, well, what's that mean to you? Like, do you know what that it actually entails? So instead of just, I want to look good, I want to lose weight, I go much more in depth to figure out what your goal is, and I'm going to tell you how you're going to get to that goal. You may not like that process, which then changes your goal. So we're going to run through that right now. So first up, we have what's called the triangle of awareness. Please do not worry about the drawing. I'm not an artist whatsoever.
You may want to make
Jimbo.
it just a little bit darker.
Darker.
Yeah, the light's a little strong. Maybe I could turn the light down. We'll be a little less brighty, but that looks better.
You see that?
I can see that better, but I can still see a little blur in the light. Dim it a little bit.
Dim it down.
It's on the bottom.
Right there.
Yeah, it's funny because the ring actually shows more when we dim it down more, but
It should show up the.
yeah, it's fine.
Okay. So right there.
We'll figure it out.
All right. So we got a triangle. If you can see it or not. What does it look like if I just turn it off?
Go ahead.
Is it
It's fine. The light's that's good. That's probably the best.
right there? Yes, no?
You can see the glare. Yeah, we're a little dark, but it's fine.
Okay. You can see the triangle though.
Yeah.
So at the very top of the triangle, we're gonna write P for performance. This is professional athletes. This could be you want to back squat 500 pounds, whatever your performance goal is. Over here, we're gonna write A for aesthetics. This could be how you want to look, if you want to be a bodybuilder, if you're just wanting to tone up, all these kinds of things. And then over here, we have L. L means longevity. You just want to live a long, happy life. So Kadimah is going to draw a small circle where he thinks his goals are currently at or where he wants them to go.
That's my circle.
Okay.
Does that count?
That doesn't count.
No? Okay. All right.
So you
All
want so you're telling me you want to look like a bodybuilder.
Yes.
You want to be able to run a marathon.
Yes.
And you want to be able to do this any given day of the week.
Yes. My
Okay.
name is Batman.
I'm going to let you know. It's not possible to do all of that. How'd you feel when you were being a pro bodybuilder?
I felt terrible.
Yeah.
I felt absolutely terrible.
How far were you running?
I was not.
You weren't running, okay? How much were you back squatting in comparison to your 1 rep max?
It was 200 pounds
Okay.
off.
Okay. And how long were you a super happy person with incredible sleep?
Never.
I was not.
Yeah, exactly. You can't have all 3 people. You get to choose. So, let's try that again. Draw a circle inside the triangle of where you think your current goals are going.
Okay, so
Okay. So we're somewhere in the middle of looking good but still being able to perform.
Yes.
Right? So
Yeah.
what does that mean to you? When you put that circle there, what is your goal?
Shredded, and I could still do heavyweight and perform.
Okay, it's not bad. So aesthetics is you're gonna get a little bit more aesthetics.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a little bit more performance, but it's not gonna come fast whatsoever. But at the same time, longevity over here, you're not gonna be able to do it for very long. You're probably not gonna be a super happy person because your sleep's not gonna be incredible. Your attitude's not gonna be phenomenal because one, to get more aesthetic, you're gonna have to be in caloric deficit, but at the same time, you're gonna be getting extremely slow gains in performance-wise because you're at a lower calorie deficit. And we all know that higher performance demands higher calories. So with a lower calorie, trying to get more aesthetics, means that energy is going to have to come somewhere, which means it ain't coming from your sleep. It's going to come from your attitude. It's going to come from how you're feeling on a regular basis. How long can you sustain getting more shredded and getting better performance?
Well, this is a problem because I want this to be year-round to the day I die.
Okay.
Not too much to ask is what I feel like.
Okay.
It's what I feel like. It's not too much to ask. So
do you care about longevity?
I mean, I do want to live a long time.
Okay.
So this is a problem.
This is a
Sounds
problem.
like AA.
This is a problem.
Sounds like counseling.
So based upon what you now know, where would you put your circle at?
Ugh. I hate this.
So are we dead center there?
We're kind of off a
We're
little bit.
down just a little bit.
Yeah, we're like a little bit more towards
We're
longevity.
a little bit more towards longevity. So dead center, we'll say he's just below dead center. Dead center means he's going to get a little bit more aesthetic. He's going to have a little bit more of a happier attitude all the time. Performance-wise, may suffer a little bit, but not a ton. So instead of being able to back squat 500 plus pounds, maybe he's doing 80% of his back squat. Now, the good news is you can have all three of these things. You can have all three. You can be extremely shredded, you can live a really long time, and you can have incredible performance goals. You just can't have all three at the exact same time. You gotta choose, especially if you wanna make major progress. If you wanna make major aesthetics progress, your performance is gonna hinder, your attitude's gonna suck, but you're gonna look good just how you wanna look. If you have major goals,
So we just have to capture the moments when I'm happy.
So we have to.
So everybody knows that I'm happy.
If you have little brief moments of you being happy when you're in aesthetics,
Take a picture then.
Yeah,
Okay.
then that's
Show
great.
memes all
But for
day.
the most part, if you're trying to actually make progress towards your aesthetics, that circle is going to have to drift way more over there, which means your sleep's going to suffer, your attitude's going to be terrible. I don't care about how your gut health is and if you're pooping all the time or not pooping. I don't care if you can't back squat 100 pounds. If your main goal is aesthetics, then just know you're not going to be happy and your performance is going to go down.
Well, what if I want to be more here then? Because I want to be happy, but let's say here.
Okay. Here, once again, not a bad spot. What does that mean to you?
Means I'm going to live a long time,
Mhm.
and I think that I'm going to be performing pretty good.
Okay, which is not bad. So you can live a long time since you're a little closer to that longevity. Your performance is going to continue to increase a little bit, but once again, you're not going to be able to run your marathon like you want to, and your longevity-wise, you're not going to be able to do this for forever, and you absolutely do not care how you look.
Whoa!
Yeah. This is the process where figuring out what you actually want and what it takes changes everybody's mindset, because everybody wants to tone up and feel good, lose weight, have six-pack, all these things. They want everything at the exact same time. It's not possible. The good news is you can have all three, you just can't have them at the same time. Eventually, as you get more performance generally means you're working out more, you're staying active, so aesthetically, you're probably gonna get a little better looking if your performance is getting better, depending on where you start. So instead of having a small circle, sometimes you're gonna gear a little bit more towards performance, and your circle's gonna get a little bit bigger. Then you come back to middle, which is homeostasis, which is wherever you're at right now, is that dead center. We can make that circle a little bigger by drifting a little bit more here, coming back. Drifting a little bit more here, coming back. Drifting a little bit more here, coming back. But everybody wants it all at the same time. I'm here to tell you, if anybody tells you you can have all those at the same time, they're just trying to take your money because it's not physically possible. You can have them just at different of your life.
So Jimbo says your attitude doesn't have to be terrible while you look good. This diagram is BS.
Well, what is your aesthetics goals? And let's get you there, and let's see how you feel. That's the best way to tell you. Now that doesn't mean that you want to be a bodybuilder. And now if your aesthetics goal, or you're sitting at 20% right here at homeostasis, and you want to be down 18, then yeah, you gear towards this way. So yeah, your attitude's not going to suck as much. But if you're sitting at 20 and you want to be 10 to 12, you're going to have to dive hard into aesthetics, which means your attitude is going to suck. Or if you don't care about taking, we can shift you down just a little bit and your attitude sucks a lot less. However, it's going to take you longer. But what everybody wants is they want to lose 30 pounds in a month, right? I mean, I don't know how many times I've heard I want to lose 30 pounds in 2 months for this weight. I want to lose 30 pounds in 2 months. You got to dive really hard into aesthetics, which means you're not going to have your cheat meals. We don't care about your attitude. Don't care about how your gut health is. If you want to lose 30 pounds in 2 months, you're going to have a back end of that. Because what happens? Everybody loses their 20, 30 pounds in 2 months. They lost weight way too fast. And then at the back end, they have to dive back into longevity and gain all that weight back. On a healthy rate, you can lose about a pound a week without having repercussions at the end of that 3 months, however it is. So if you've got 30 pounds to lose, you can lose 30 pounds in about 30 weeks. Now that's going to vary a little bit depending on everybody, without having the repercussions of gaining all that 30 pounds back. Because that's what happens all the time, right? People dive hard into aesthetics, they lose 20 pounds in a week, and then their body's like, I don't like this, I have to recover. So your body forces you into longevity, which means you're probably going to gain it all right back. This is the way that we work. This is why yo-yo dieting is there. This is why you tried everything in the book. You tried every diet, nothing works for you. You're trying the wrong things, or you're just not doing it right or having the right amount of help. That's not your problem, or it's not your fault because things haven't worked for you, because all of those things suck. That's why there's so many diets out there. They all suck. It's a lifestyle change. If you want to get there fast, you're going to have repercussions in the backside. If you want to take your time to learn all these positive attributes and habits that create a good positive influence on your body while keeping your gut health there, having good attitude, being able to sleep, still increasing your performance, still looking better, it takes time. You can't have all these things in 2 months when for the past 2 years you've done nothing but eat potato chips and sit on your bottom. I mean, that's just the way it works. It doesn't have to be difficult though. Everybody thinks you just gotta work really hard, starve yourself, don't eat all the good things. No, be smart about it. Hire a coach who does this for a living so you don't have to do anything. We can literally tell you exactly what to eat so you don't even have to think about what to eat. We can tell you exactly how much you should be eating so you don't have to think about how much you should be eating. It takes time to learn new habits, right? I mean, we are pretty close to homeostasis a lot of the times, right? We gear towards a little bit more towards performance sometimes. Sometimes we care a little bit more aesthetics. During Christmas time is usually a longevity. We're gonna eat whatever the heck we want to eat, right?
I love Christmas.
But for the most part, we stick pretty close to homeostasis because we like how we look, we like how we perform, and we can do that for a pretty long period of time. We still have cheeseburgers. We still go eat all-you-can-eat sushi. Like, I still have Cheerios almost every single night. That's built into what I eat. I still get my good amount of nutrients I need. I'm eating the right amount of macros that I need to sustain my performance, aesthetics, and be able to live longly. I don't have to get rid of all these things and say, no, I can only eat chicken rice.
If I don't have to do anything, your ass better be showing me. You better be showing up to my place and feeding me. We can put that in your plan.
Yeah, well, I want to tell everybody, you gotta pick it up, you gotta cook it, and you gotta weigh it. That's your three things. You don't even have to worry about what you're picking up, because I'm going to tell you. You don't have to worry about how much should you be eating, because I'm going to tell you. All you gotta do is pick it up from the grocery store, cook it, and weigh it. Now that's it. It's that simple, right? Everybody wants to make this way too difficult. If you don't want to do all those things or hire a coach, hire a meal prep company. It's going to save you so much time and energy to where you don't even have to think about it, right? If you're not meal prepping in some form or fashion, it's incredibly difficult to just go day by day and not plan it out. Your food account is just like your bank account, right? If you know where your money's going, you're going to have success financially. If you know where your food's going calorically, macro-wise, you're going to have success. If you're just all willy-nilly spending money, you check the bank account 2 months later, you're like, oh, I'm negative $300. We've all been there. You've been there. You have to learn that lesson. If you keep thinking that you can not meal prep or not hire a company to meal prep for you, all these things, and you're yo-yo dieting up and down, and it's still not working for you, maybe your method is not the right method, and you should outsource to somebody else.
So I have a question.
Yep.
Because you're saying that we can't have all three at the same time.
Yep.
It's very difficult, I think, from what I'm understanding, really, I feel like you can only have one. Truly.
You can truly have one.
And then you can
At a
kind of
time.
dibble and dabble where you're kind of halving the other two. Like
Yeah.
where you're doing, if I try to go performance and leisure, these things don't even make sense to go together, because this is like I'm getting daily exercise, but I'm sleeping a lot. I'm not really focused on performance, because performance will mess up this sleep. So those don't really go together. If I try to perform and I'm trying to go for aesthetics, that spells injury.
Yep.
If I try to go for aesthetics and go for this, there's no way, because this requires more sleep and gut health, and this is the elimination of foods and etc. So, okay, so I'm already frustrated by this.
So the good news, once again, you can't have all three, but you can have them at a separate time. So that's where you have preseason, in-season, postseason, and off-season. So, for instance, if Kadimah was wanting to be a bodybuilder, which he already was, he had a preseason of which he's just working out, he's eating under his calories, he's losing fat, he's not doing any kind of extensive interval training, CrossFit, whatever you want to call it. He's walking or riding an elliptical, and he's lifting heavy weights, the aesthetics, because that's what's going to stimulate him. Once show's coming on, he is in season. It is hardcore. If you don't know him, his personality was absolutely tanked. He wasn't a happy person. He knows it. He was not the friendliest guy whatsoever. And he was still good, because he's a good person. But trust me, it was not a pleasant experience to be around. Okay? After he was in season, he did his bodybuilding shows. We took 6 weeks to just go over to longevity. You need to get your metabolism back up. You need to eat more. You need to put on weight. Otherwise, we're going to have extreme measures that are going to have to be taken. If he stayed over here for an extended period of time, his metabolism would tank. So he was roughly burning 3,500 calories a day. If he was eating 1,800 calories, right?
1,700, 1,800.
Yeah, 1,700 calories. If he had kept that going, his metabolism would have tanked, and he could only keep losing weight by eating less and less. So we had to dip over into longevity for his metabolism to pick right back up.
It's
so
it's still happening too. Like this is a in process thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like he asked me, hey, what were your calories? I was like, oh, I was 500 under. The day before, I was 200 under. He's like, you need to eat more. Like, you need to eat more. And I'm like, okay. So there's points where I didn't think I'd get to this point in life where I actually had to force feed myself. But I've had to force feed myself the last 2 days where I'm like going to bed and I'm like, stomach is distended and like have to get the food in.
Yep.
And it's uncomfortable. It's not something that I'm used to, and I'm trying to re-establish this metabolism. So we're still not out of the woods here. We're a lot closer. Energy's a lot better. Hormones and hair is growing back. a lot of these things are way better than they were, but they're still not to the tip top of where they should be.
Yep. So we're still rebuilding his metabolism back up here. I know he still wants to look good. I know he still has performance goals, but we can't get there until he's fully recovered from longevity.
So this is another question then, because you said that we can kind of get to where it's easier to sustain, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for you, like you're probably 12 to 11%. So your aesthetics is pretty dialed in, right?
Yeah.
Your performance is at a pretty good level, right? And I would say your longevity in terms of you're probably getting relatively good sleep, minus whatever baby goes through, etc.
Yeah.
But you're getting, so you're somewhere where you're you kind of have a piece of all three.
So we're gonna say this is dead center.
Okay.
If I'm gonna draw my circle, I'm probably just outside of dead center, a little bit more towards aesthetics, a little bit towards more performance. We go through seasons of, hey, I'm gonna be a little bit closer to over here because summer's coming up, so I want to look good in my, stuff. And then, okay, I dipped over here, so then I'm gonna come back to homeostasis for a little while. I'm feeling pretty good. Then I'm like, okay, now I care a little bit more about my performance, so I'm gonna dip a little bit closer up here. Now, depending on how long, or if I have a show, or if we're gonna do a competition, I may be really hard up here. The point is no matter what, I still have to either come back to homeostasis or I have to dip into longevity for a little while. Usually around Christmas, I dip over here for about 2 weeks to hang out, recover because we've had a tough year, all these kinds of things, and then we jump right back into it. Now, that doesn't mean that just because I dip over into longevity that I go from 12% body fat to 18% body fat or something ridiculous. It also doesn't mean that I can't still run at a decent rate or anything. It's just not my top. But by dipping over into one of these categories for a little bit, then eventually, instead of having just a little tiny circle, then maybe I have like a medium-sized circle. Because I've continuously been peak preseason, postseason, off-season, all these things, so my circle gets a little bigger every single time I dip into one of those areas. It's not my top performance. I'm not setting PRs. I may not look the best I've ever looked, but as a generality, I'm feeling good. I'm performing well, all these things. So you have seasons where you're in one of these hardcore, and then you have to recover. A lot of people don't want to recover, so their body forces them to recover, which is gaining back all the weight. Your back squat is 50% of what it used to be, all these kinds of things.
So my question would be, how close can I get to Batman? And was that basically the template for Batman?
That was the template for Batman.
Okay.
That was yeah.
Okay.
So your homeostasis, you dip over a little bit, you come back. You recover, you come back. You go to performance, you come back. You're making that circle a little bigger, a little bigger, a little bigger every single time. But that takes time. Everyone wants to be Batman now.
Of course.
Right? You can't be Batman now.
Okay.
It takes time.
So, all right, question.
Yep.
Is it better to go hardcore in one area, right, and then go back to homeostasis and gain a little bit, and then go, go hardcore in aesthetics, then you go, all right, I need to go to longevity, right, and then you go hardcore in performance, right, and then you kind of go like this, and would that be the best route, or would it be to try to split 1-2 areas?
That's where everybody's different.
Okay.
Because if you have an actual thing coming up, like a bodybuilding show, you have to dip hard. There's no other choice, right? And then you're gonna have to recover in longevity. And then if you have a CrossFit competition coming up or something, you're gonna have to dip hard into performance, and then you're gonna have to recover. That's where everybody's different. Some people are gonna shift outside of homeostasis just a little bit and come right back to it. Some people are wanting those major goals. Everybody wants the major goal until I tell them, hey, you're gonna feel like crap. You're not gonna get to have your wine and all that stuff that you want all the time, and I don't care about your performance. It's tough to hear that you can't have it all.
Yeah, that's baloney.
You can't have it all at the same time.
My parents told me I could be with
because
whoever
you
I wanted to
can
be
have it all
and have it all
at different times. At different times.
Well, when we first went over this was like shortly after, and we're going to wrap this up here pretty soon, but when we first went over this kind of thing, and every time we do it, I get a little bit more questions and a little bit more, I guess, reality. I don't necessarily like it, but it puts a better perspective and frame over. So I am still in longevity mode, but trying to dip into performance. But I'm really still recovering a metabolism and getting in a routine. We're going through every micronutrient. We're going through my vitamins right now. We're changing things up to basically get me as close to homeostasis / longevity as possible while not going completely off the rails, essentially. So I'm still training relatively hard, eating nutritious things and staying within a caloric amount of stuff, trying to get more towards the top end of that. So this is a work in progress. So, you know, I'm a coach who gets coached by a coach who knows more. And so we just encourage people that are literally thinking about their 2020 goals and they're wondering why they went into this extreme diet and the weight's coming off, but they're starting to feel terrible. And this is where you start to question why you're doing what you're doing. We're already halfway plus during this month, and this is where goals start to die. If that is you and you have questions about what the steps are necessary to take, hit us up. You know, we take on and ask questions. We talk about this stuff on a daily basis. We give you real things that are happening. We just encourage you that if you have a goal of some sort or you know somebody that has some questions, pass this on to them. It'll be uploaded on YouTube later today. We hope that any kind of content in this manner could have helped you in some way, shape, or form. You will see a lot more nutrition, especially because we look at the habitual side of things. The science we got down. The habitual and helping you to get more into the psychology of why you do what you do, what you're feeling and when you're going through certain times. We just want to share that information with you. And so hit us up, Instagram at The Vibe Gym, Facebook.com/The Vibe Gym. The website changing very soon to thevibegym.com. You can personal DM us any way, shape, or form there. I believe Jacob's handle is Fit for Lively. Mine is just Kadimah.Duncan. Any questions that we can answer or handle for you guys, we're definitely encouraged to do so. Hey, consultations are still free right now. That's still an offer that's going on right now. That will change though, especially as the demand continues to grow right now. We have a few more spots left, but that is it for Freestyle Friday today. Tried to make it condensed and short, but this is such a deep topic that covers so many areas. Jimbo, thank you for some of the questions that you've put on in front of us today. We're going to continue to mess with this setup. We don't really like it, but we needed a whiteboard for today as we were changing what our mind was going to be on the subject of demand. But again, I'm one of your hosts. I'm Kadimah.
I'm Jacob.
Thank you for being with us on Freestyle Friday. We'll see you next week. See you Instagram.
Peace.